At Direct Service Overhead, we know how much trust you put in the individuals who have the privilege of working on the components of your home. We understand that a broken garage door is the last thing you want to be worried about, and most of the time, doors break at the most inconvenient times. Our professionally trained technicians service 24 hours a day, and our high-cycle parts are guaranteed to make a noticeable impact on your garage door without putting a damper on your wallet. If you're looking for need of assistance maintaining your current garage door, our team has the experience and expertise to deliver the results you deserve. Give Direct Service Overhead a call today or visit us online to learn more.
All right. Disappointing way to finish that game, but let's do it. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I'm Ty Hudson. A heartbreaking loss at the end of that game. Felt like a heartbreaker. Not really. I mean, it's not like Bama's better than Arkansas. I think Arkansas is definitely a better ball club than they are, but still, Arkansas chips away at a 13-point lead. Only to take the lead back in the final several minutes of the game, and then to, a very questionable call given to Alabama on the inbounds or on the out-of-bounds ball. They gave it to Bama, which they then in turn scored on that same possession. So, and then you go down there at the end of the game, J.D. Notae with a very, very, very questionable shot there, with still 6 seconds on the clock when he had the ball in his hands when he took that shot. He definitely could have passed the ball, but he didn't. Arkansas loses by a point to a team that probably, I don't know, I'll be shocked if Bama goes far in the tournament. I will be shocked if they go far. They're going to be a team that's going to rely on matchups for sure. If they get good matchups, we'll see what they do, right? Arkansas, though, played well enough in the second half, later in the second half, I would argue, to win the game. Should have won it. Should have won the game. Again, I think Arkansas is the better team on the floor. I think Bama fans would have to admit that. They did a great job. Bama did lead about 75% of the game. Arkansas got off to an early lead thanks to J-Dub, but then it was all Bama with an 8 to 10 point lead most of the first half and then on to the second half. So do me a favor, guys. Like the streams, share the content, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah. Just gotta shake it off. Get ready for your next one. You got another. You got to go back on the road. You're gonna play Mizzou coming up next, but we're gonna dive into this game, and of course I'm gonna read your comments and all that. But yeah, shout out to Patreon supporters. You guys know you're rock stars. You're rock stars, even though it's not a great day, not a great way to start off your day. Just know that I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. And, of course, shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Need to repair or replace your garage door? Give these guys a call. They can help you out. They operate out of Central Arkansas and in Northwest Arkansas. They offer same-day services, emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year, free estimates, quality parts, affordable outcomes, hundreds of 5-star reviews, and better than the best results. That's what they do for you. Our team is here and ready to serve as your trusted residential garage door repair team. Call us today, 501-244-3667. Shout out to Travis Ford and the boys. As expected, Discord I was in and out of it today. I wasn't really. I guess someone got timed out, possibly. Not surprising. Kind of happens. Ty, you're gonna have to talk some of these guys off the ledge. Good grief. Yeah, Bama's not an easy place to win at, guys. You don't walk in there. That's not a team where you can play like you did today and expect to come away with a win. Doesn't make Arkansas a bad team. We know they're not a bad team. Some of these comments are cracking me up. They didn't play well. J.D. Notae was on the bench for, 80%, 85% of the first half. He came out in the last couple of seconds to do something to try and shoot a more than half-court three-point shot or a long, extended outside shot in those final seconds. He couldn't do it in the first half. I would argue that his 2 fouls early on, bonehead fouls. And I think they were both the right calls. I thought both those fouls were fouls. And they were bonehead fouls. And it put Arkansas in a rough situation. Bama still wasn't really able – they weren't really able to build onto that lead. They had a hard time extending it and keeping it in double digits. Arkansas felt like they led by 8 the entire game. I know their largest lead, I think, was 13 points. But, I think some people are, overreacting. The dust will settle. They'll wake up tomorrow and they'll go, you know what? I think we're okay. Now, if you lose to Mizzou on the road, then, well, you might have something to be concerned about, but you're still in pretty good shape. Fishman says, just the turnaround the Hogs have made it's amazing in its own right. These Hogs ain't done yet. Appreciate you, Ty. Thanks, Fish. I appreciate you. Some of you guys a little crazy with some of these takes. Just not a good game. They didn't play well. They shot horrific outside in the first half. Not a good game. Bama caught fire outside. I wasn't sure they were going to miss, but that's what they do. Too many wide open looks. You play solid perimeter defense for, almost every game the last 7 or 8 games. Like, great perimeter defense. You've minimized the amount of open looks teams have outside. Way more contested shots than what we had seen up until these last 8 or 9 games. Only to have Bama kind of do whatever they wanted outside, but it's Bama. This is what they do. They knock down shots. Bama's pretty good at that. Let's go to the stat sheet here. Let's look at what they did. They shot 43%, 24 56 field goal percentage shooting. They got off to a hot start, and then in the second half, I think they only made 1 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. They ended up 7 of 29, 24%. They live and die by the 3. I was actually surprised they didn't do more, but I think that was a testament to Arkansas's defense. They did in the second half clamp down. Alabama saw that. They adjusted. I thought it was, pretty well coached game by Nate Oates. They only took 17 shots, so everyone who's blaming officiating for the entirety of the game, I'm not buying it. I think they missed that last inbound or out of bounds ball was definitely hog ball. Should have been hog ball. That to me is even the announcers who seem to me like they're pretty, they leaned pretty heavily towards Bama throughout a lot of that game. Even they were like, oh yeah, I mean, what are we doing here? And of course, it was Bama ball. I wasn't aware that Bama had privilege in basketball. Not only do they have it in football, but they have it, I guess, in basketball. And that particular play, are you kidding me? With the amount of time on the clock, that was a horrible miss by the officiate. I'm surprised. I don't know. They didn't really show Muss. I'm curious what he thinks. If anyone's going to ask him about that particular possession, they may not because it's kind of a moot point anyways. So, yeah, they ended up shooting again 7 of 29 outside. They were 13 of 17 at the free throw line, okay? We took 24 shots. They took 17. Arkansas was dominating on the offensive boards. They ended up 21 offensive rebounds to Bama with just 11. What is that, the second time this year we've seen Arkansas get into 20-plus offensive rebounds? That's insane. But Bama also, I mean, they did rebound okay, and they were kind of toe-to-toe with Arkansas for most of the game. They ended up with 40 total rebounds. Obviously, the biggest black eye for them is their turnovers. I did not expect them to turn the ball over that much. 24 total turnovers for Alabama. And that is a credit. Some of that was just lazy, not good passing by Bama, without a doubt. I would argue, though, the other like 75% of their turnovers definitely because of the Arkansas defense. This is what they're starting to do. They're starting to do this better. They're starting to force turnovers at a higher rate, and I thought they did a great job. Bama had 7 blocks. Again, Arkansas is just getting dominated in this category. Some would say it's not the most important part of the, when you're looking at the stat sheet. I don't know, man. When you're getting out blocked like that, I mean, we knew they were going to get dominated against Auburn in the block department, but then to go 7 to your 0 blocks, like I don't know. Again, they do like to shoot a lot from outside, but we're not talking about a night where they shot 36 attempts outside. They tried 29, but it does kind of speak to the way Alabama plays on offense, right? They'll settle for. They're going to take open looks or they're going to try and drive the lane. But I felt like that should have played into Arkansas's advantage, their size advantage, with their ability to get some blocks, rack up at least 4 or 5 blocks. They weren't able to get a single one. Bama only 4 steals on the night, and their leading scorer was, of course, J.D. Davidson, who kind of went off there. Like, I think there was like a 2-minute stretch where he had like 6 points or 6 or 7 quick points. He got one of them he got one of those shots at the free throw line. Then he turned around and he had some good floor time. Not a bad night for him. It wasn't just one Bama player that was hurting you. Shackelford only had 10 tonight with just 5 rebounds. Rojas got a little chippy. Rojas, I kind of felt like should have been. I don't know. I kind of felt like he did. He did get into some foul trouble. Don't get me wrong, but he got pretty handsy quite a bit, especially coming off rebounds. Was really surprised he didn't foul out with the way he was kind of going after the way he was playing underneath the rim. He was trying to match the intensity of Arkansas. I think he could say the same. I thought Jalen was going to get hit with a couple more fouls, but they didn't call. I mean, I felt like for the most part, I kind of felt like they let him play. Just a couple of just missed calls, especially with that inbound. Or again, I keep saying that. The out-of-bounds call that went to Bama should have been hog ball. I'll stand by that. Arkansas shot 31%, 22 of 70. Not good. You were one of 7 in the first half outside shooting. They ended up 6 of 21. So they did shoot at least it wasn't your worst percentage shooting outside. You were 28, almost 29%. You're 17 of 24. Boy, Jalen kind of looked like he was going to have a rough night there. He ended up 9 of 13 at the free throw line. And Jalen, by the way, 22 points. He had a double-double tonight. He had an assist. Not a bad night for him. The guy that I'm starting to get confused, like maybe we need to start thinking about the idea of him now coming off the bench, and that's Mr. Wade. Wade did not play very good tonight. 1 rebound, 0 points. I don't have his, so I'm waiting on the minutes here. But I thought he and Tony both kind of played not so great. J.D. Note, up until, again, the last portion of the second half, let's start with him in the first half. Like he didn't do anything. He had 0 points and he only played like 4 minutes or so in the first half. He got the second foul. He rode the bench until the final 2 seconds, like we mentioned, and then he comes back out into the second half. And Arkansas somehow looked worse with him on the floor, which was weird, And Amude, who of course he fouled out and got into some foul trouble. It felt like this game was on the verge of getting pretty chippy. These guys, kind of a little bit of mouthing going on, but that's to be expected. But Amude played really well. He fouled out. That was pretty crucial for Arkansas. But I don't understand what was going on with J.D. Note in those first few minutes of the second half. I wonder if it was just, he rode the bench the entire first half, and then he comes out and it's hard to do that. And then to go in at half where you only played for like 4 minutes and then to come back out, you're still trying to find your rhythm. I guess maybe that's what happened with him. But the first several minutes, first 4, 5, 6 minutes maybe, They did not look like they have any offensive identity at all with him on the floor. And another guy, too, that didn't play very well was Likes. Likes didn't have his best game, taking some questionable shots. So there's a lot you could look at. We can kind of break that down and say these set of reasons are why you lost. And it's like you have to go pretty deep into each one and how that impacted the moment and whatever. But at the end of the day, you just didn't play your best game, and you have to give credit to Bama. I thought they played really well. Their crowd, although a lot of empty seats, I was a little surprised by that. Well, not really. I mean, they know they're not a basketball program. They know this, but they got a good win tonight. So I don't know what their official attendance is. Do we have that number? Because I saw a lot of open seats. I don't know if you guys saw it. I saw a lot of open seats. But Alabama played pretty well, and they did well enough. They played well enough to get the benefit of the doubt on a couple of calls, and they found a way to win in the final minute. Arkansas, again, I think you have to chalk this up. Some poor shot selection. Again, Chris Likes, J.D. Notae. We didn't see a lot of dribble, shoot. We haven't seen a lot of that in the last 7 or 8 games, and we talked about how if they minimize the dribble, shoot stuff, they're going to be fine. If they just, if we get a little bit more ball movement, the ball has to touch at least 3 different players' hands, right? And so you're seeing a lot of that. Tonight, I think you didn't see that maybe on a few possessions, if that. But your bench, not a lot of production. Devo Davis, just 4 points. He did have 6 rebounds. He was your third leading rebounder. Amude, 19 points, 9 rebounds. He had 3 offensive rebounds. Between him and Tony, they both had 6 combined. Kamani Johnson on a single possession had like 3 offensive rebounds and came away with 0 points. I don't know how that's possible. I've seen Connor Vanover do that. I've never seen Kamani do that before, but I've seen, now we have. I've seen other players where they either rebound their own shot or someone else does, and they get the ball back in their hands, and they're just unable to finish at the rim. Very Ethan Henderson, 2019 Ethan Henderson. Like, man, figure out how to get the damn ball in the rim when you get 3 of your own it was 2 or 3 of his own rebounds. How do you not come away with any points? That was insane. I mean, I get it. It's one possession, but you lost 67-68. That who knows where that could have taken you. But yeah, again, it was just a bizarre game. It just kind of felt like a bizarre game. Arkansas felt like they played good enough where they should have led more. They should have led more minutes. But Bama, they couldn't figure out with Amude and J.D. Notae on the bench, they still couldn't really take advantage. Let's go to the notes here really quick, then I'll read chat. Hogs, they ended up taking 3 charges tonight. It's what I counted. Kamani had 1 charge, J-Dub with 2. The largest lead in the game was 13 points. Bama in the first half, a lot of open looks outside. The first 12 points made by Bama were threes. Of those 4 threes, 3 of those were wide open looks. J.D. Notae, 2 early fouls at the 16-19 minute mark in the first half. Stayed on the bench until the final 2 seconds to attempt a quick last second inbounds 3. Amude with his second foul with 9:29 to go in the first half. He goes to the bench. Wade comes in. I just was not impressed with Wade tonight. At that point in the game, Amude was the leading scorer on the floor, not just for the Hogs, but on the floor with 9 points. J-Dub tonight has found his, and I wrote this after he made like his second mid-range shot, and then he kind of went cold, but then he knocked down the 3. But he did have a couple nice mid-range little jump shots there. A little surprised at how out of rhythm the Hogs looked in the second half, the first several minutes of the second half with Notae back out on the floor. Bama with 15 first half turnovers. They, of course, would turn the ball over, what did I say, 22 total turnovers, 21. JD, let's see. JD, I don't know what I'm saying there. That must be a typo. Bama failed to take advantage of J.D. Notae and Amude on the bench for the Hogs. They led, but their double-digit lead came down to 5 right before the half. And a lot of rim outs. I don't know if you guys noticed that. A lot of rim outs for the Razorbacks. It's just like some shots just would not drain. They just wouldn't go. So just not a very good game. And when shots don't fall and things don't go the way that you expect them to, it's just hard to win. It's hard to win at that place. But that shot by J.D. Note is probably going to keep him up tonight, and I'm sure it's going to keep up Musselman. It just wasn't the look. I'm sure, I don't know, maybe Musselman felt like it was. Maybe he saw something we didn't on the floor. Anytime you're trying to attempt that kind of three-point shot where your body's still in motion in midair, that is one of the hardest shots to make. It's already at an area where Arkansas is horrible at. I don't know why there wasn't something drawn up to get maybe Jalen Williams underneath the goal or let him try one of his mid-range shots, maybe try to get J.D. Note to drive the lane, try to draw a foul. I don't know why they settled with that. And, that's, again, I think Musselman, this is going to keep him up at night. I think Arkansas absolutely was the better team on the floor. They fought. I mean, it was a back alley brawl. I told you guys I felt like Alabama was going to win it, and it was going to be single digits. But I feel like Arkansas should have won tonight. I mean, they absolutely should have won this ball game, and I didn't think I would have that feeling. I kind of felt like, Alabama's probably going to lead the whole game, and Arkansas's just, they might make a run, but Bama keeps the lead, whatever. Arkansas played good enough; they should have won the damn game. So this one will for sure keep them up at night. Again. It's not easy to win at Bama, guys. Bama is not a trash team. Bama is a tournament caliber team, and you're playing at their place. And like the announcer said, and I think they're dead on, even though I saw some empty seats, that stadium, they get loud in there. They're going to show out. And I think Alabama-Arkansas basketball has kind of turned into a brief rivalry. Like these two teams, last year it got a little chippy. The fans got a little excited. It was, the home team always won that game, and here we are again. And I think if you played Bama again, you win it. And tonight feels like a game, even though I think with Amude on the bench, with J.D. Note on the bench, and the kind of production we were seeing out of the rest of that the five on the floor, I think they probably win this one like 6 or 7 times out of 10. So I don't think there's any reason to hang your heads. I don't think there's any reason to be depressed. Again, you should have won despite playing not so pretty. Yeah, and again, you got to give Bama credit. They absolutely did play. They played again well enough too that they kept themselves back in it when Arkansas made that late run. Several missed free throws. I mean, they still shot overall decent. It wasn't terrible. Must should have called a timeout and settled our guys down. Having Amude to end the game probably puts us over the top. We have the talent. We have to face some adversity, and I think this win bonds them together. And they're not. Listen, they've lost before, and the concern that we had coming out of that Auburn game was, okay, how do they respond? That was the take, or that was kind of the thought, right? How do they respond after riding those high emotions, after beating the number one team, all the things that come along with that, all the media exposure for Coach Muss taking his shirt off, acting wild, for Arkansas and the players. How do they respond to that? And like Musselman said, they're on social media. I can't stop them. How do they respond? And look, I mean, you could chalk tonight or today up to, well, maybe they still kind of had their head in that game a little bit. I don't think so. I think they just came out and didn't play their best game. They didn't come out and play their best ball. I don't think that this was a scenario where, they were stuck on that Auburn game. I don't think so. I mean, again, it wasn't a pretty game, but I think some of that, or a lot of it, you got to give Bama, that defense. You got to give them credit. I was pretty impressed. I mean, I was. I still don't think they go far in the tournament. I just don't. I'm not there. I'm not there with them yet. The only chip in the armor of Muss is unwillingness to call timeouts. Yeah, that's going to be talked about all week. That's going to be talked about. Why not call a timeout? Why not draw something up? We know he can do it. He's damn good at it, as a matter of fact. I know that was something that they talked a lot about when he was coming from Nevada. The Nevada media people were talking about his ability to, he could draw up plays. He's not known for calling timeouts, but he can draw them up, and he can find someone to get points, to get a bucket one way or another, or draw a foul, whatever, in a key moment. Why not call a timeout there? Why not, unless I missed, I mean, they had timeouts left. I don't understand. I don't understand Note taking that shot to begin with. I mean, he had to have known, well, What did we used to say? What did we used to say about JD Notae? We used to say you live by JD, you die by JD, right? He's going to win you some games. He's going to lose you some games. And I'm not putting all this on him. I'm really not. Is he at fault for getting those 2 early fouls that were absolutely fouls? Yes. Because he knows you're going to ride the bench, and he did for the rest of that first half, again, up until his final couple of seconds. And then he did a great job, and he kind of started, he found his rhythm in the second half, and he's a big part of the reason why you were able to climb back up and chip away at that lead and eventually take the lead. He was a big part of that. But then ultimately that last shot, is what it is. I mean, it just sucks. But at the same time, I don't feel defeated. I know Arkansas is better than Bama. I know they beat them at home or they beat them at on a neutral court, and tonight solidified that. And I think Arkansas they look like a tournament team to me. J.D. Davidson is a 5-star baller who plays off the bench. I think Davidson starts for the Hogs. Good player. Kamani going up 3 times and not converting off them was disappointing to see. Yeah, Ramon, it was. You have to come away with buckets, man. You got to come away with a bucket in those scenarios. You can't walk away from that with no points, and they did. And that was very not. I don't know. Ty, it's daytime, man. Not. Oh, okay. Thanks, hero. Whatever. Guys, gaffes are gonna happen. They're gonna happen. Okay. JD was trying to turn the page, or no? JD was trying to turn the game around on his own, maybe. Trying to do too much, man, and sometimes that works for him, sometimes it doesn't. Trey Wade is needed to start the lineup. What's special about us that we're large and athletic? That's what sets us apart. Right, but I mean, Wade didn't have a very good night. I don't know that he played himself any more minutes onto the floor with the way he was playing. I think, you're already bigger than them, and you're still bigger than them without him on the floor, Tony. So I don't know what your point is. Laugh out loud. Do we not have a knockdown shooter? No, they don't. They don't have someone you can rely on outside. That you don't have an Isaiah Joe. And I hate to say this, I like JD Notae. He's the reason. He's the leading scorer in the league. But sometimes you wonder, could Mason Jones? How would he do in that type of scenario? Would Mason Jones be able to make that shot? Isaiah Joe, would he make that shot? Would someone else make that shot? And that's just part of his game. But you still appreciate what he is. Again, you're not on the win streak without him. No doubt about it. But in that particular situation, sometimes you just think about other players or anyone even on the roster that would take that shot. And you would hope that they wouldn't. You would hope that they would draw up a play, try to kick the ball down low, do something, anything. Go for the high percentage shot, not the low percentage shot in a last second scenario. You had all the time in the world. You had the clock on your side. The play clock was off. Could have done anything, and that's what you went with. It's just, oh boy. Need more than 1 reb from a starter. Oh, 1 rebound. My bad. I don't know why. I don't know why I read it like that. We should have won. Why can't they stay dominant? I mean, again, you have to consider who you played, right? You got to consider where you were playing. And by the way, you're riding a pretty good win streak there. If it were up to me, I would drag the ref who called it Bama ball at 1:43, which resulted in 2 points. I would cast. Oh well, I'm not gonna read all that, but yeah, that was a bad call, man. That was hog ball all the way. Note literally against Auburn hit a 3 to put us. Yeah, he did. He did, but that shot, it wasn't that exact same shot, though. That shot that he took there was with him in motion, his body in the air. I mean, that's just not the shot, man. That ain't it. I think given what Alabama – you have to consider what Alabama had on the floor. You have to consider what their defense had been doing. They were daring Arkansas at times to try and do something outside, and he's not a high-percentage shot guy. He's not a high-percentage guy. I don't know what else. I'd have to go back and look, see what they had in that final seconds of that. But there had to be something else there. There had to be someone, or they could have just drawn something up. I just don't know why in that scenario, that's the shot that he settles for. I mean, that's not it. That's not his shot. Missed opportunities. Yeah, I think you're right, Big Donnelly. We can win out, not afraid of going to Knoxville or Gainesville. I mean, are they capable of winning out? Yes. Will they? I don't know. I mean, again, Florida concerns me, right? Tennessee concerns me a little bit, but I think Tennessee is better than Bama. I think they're better than Bama at home or on the road. But do I think they really go? Do I think they win out from here? No, I don't. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. We'll see what they do these next two games. At Mizzou on the 15th, 8 p.m. tip-off. Oh, man. I just realized that. 8 p.m. tip-off. Yay. What is the 15th? Is that a Tuesday? Well, at least it's a Tuesday night, I guess. And then, so that's Missouri. Then you're at Tennessee, or you're at home against Tennessee on the 18th. That'll be a good game. Well, that's a good game. Wait. What? Am I just now realizing they're playing that? That can't be right. Are they playing that on Friday? What the hell? Really? Hold up. That can't be right. Let me see. What is Arkansas? What does their website say? What do the Razorbacks say on? Okay, ESPN's got it wrong. Unless I just need glasses. Yeah, no, ESPN says it's on the 18th. And the website, Arkansas Razorbacks, say it's on the 19th. So, yeah, ESPN's got it wrong. I thought that was bizarre. Or maybe Arkansas Razorbacks got it wrong. That's weird. Not sure I've ever seen that before. But anyways, you do play Tennessee at home after going on the road against Missouri. Then you're at Florida, and then you host Kentucky. That Kentucky game's going to be huge. Wait a minute. Is that the only game they have messed up? Let's see. They have Kentucky on the 26th. Yeah, okay. Huh, bizarre. Anyone else catch that? The dates are different on the websites. Just run a play at the end of the game. Can't just roll the ball out. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that. And I don't know why people are like, yeah, but that's what he's done. He did this once before, whatever. Well, first off, no, he didn't. I mean, go back and watch, man. He's up in the air trying to make the shot. That's a horrible low percentage shot. The odds of you getting that are not high at all. No, that wasn't it. That ain't it, fam. We missed 7 free throws. Yeah, they missed 7 free throws, but it wasn't it wasn't an atrocious performance. We've seen worse. You still shot about 71% overall. Williams 9 of 13, Tony 4 of 6, Amude 2 for 2, JD 2 of 3. So I guess you've just seen worse. Not great. Definitely not great at the free throw line. I agree with that. If it went, y'all'd be praising it, but it's still a low percentage shot, Tarl. We were still saying the same thing when Likes made that 3. To kill to add on to the score. We were still saying that was not a good idea. You have to consider that A, he's not a solid outside shooter. B, it's not a high percentage shot for him. And you're trying to eat up clock and he takes that shot. So we're going to criticize, right? I'm going to criticize it, but I'm happy it went in. No, I mean, yeah, you'd praise that he made it. But you'd still be skeptical and critical of the fact that he tried that shot to win it all. That was not a good shot, man. I'll stand by that. Can't do that ISO note stuff and jack up a 3. Yeah. Is a bad shot is a bad shot. Yeah, I agree. A bad shot is a bad shot. I agree. So I see we lost and played bad. I would say you lost kind of a back alley fight a little bit. I kind of felt like this one was a good back and forth there in the final minutes. I mean, yeah, you didn't play your best for sure. Didn't play your best. We've seen better, for sure. Not a doubt. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll up here. Yeah, again, I don't have a problem with him taking the last shot at all. I don't have a problem with him taking the last shot, but that shot, that ain't it, man. I mean, that's not it. The commentator for the game was horrible, says John Wilbanks. If we can get past Vanderbilt beating us, we could certainly get past this loss. Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't think this is you're going to be fine. Now, I think the question now is from this point on, how does Arkansas respond after this kind of loss? I think they'll do fine. I really do. I think they're going to put it behind them. They're going to go on the road. Again, they're going to play Missouri. I assume ESPN is correct. They say the 15th. They are correct. Both ESPN and ArkansasRazorbacks.com agree. It's 8 p.m. February 15th on the road. I do expect, we talked about this last night in our Discord live conversation, that Missouri takes this game serious for whatever reason, no matter how bad they are. They are 3-7 in conference play, 9-14 overall. They're not a very good team, but they do get up for this game. And we'll talk about this matchup on Monday. We'll kind of talk about it a little bit. I think it is an important game. I think every game from this point on is important, without a doubt. I'm glad Missouri is our next game. Yeah, I am too. I like this. Honestly, that is the kind of game. Don't get me wrong. You're always going to wish after a close loss like that, kind of a disappointing performance, you'd like to be able to come back and come play at home. But at least if you're playing on the road, it's against Missouri, right? Not a very good team. Please don't underestimate Missouri. Well, you don't underestimate anybody. Like I said, you have to take into consideration Mizzou takes this game serious. Arkansas needs to as well. For some ungodly reason, it's actually a rivalry. It is for them. Don't understand it. It's the most manufactured rivalry I've ever seen in my life, and they take it serious. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to overlook them. I agree. You don't overlook anybody. You guys, anyone who's watched my shows long enough, I'll tell you the same thing. You play these games on the field. You play them on the court. Don't overlook. Don't underestimate anybody. But Arkansas is good enough. They should win this one pretty easily in Mizzou. Mizzou might beat Arkansas. I hope I'm wrong. Well, I mean, you can say that about any matchup you have left. I mean, you say that about anybody. Hofstra beat Arkansas, okay? Yeah, anybody could beat anybody, but I'll just say I feel good. I'm happy that it's Mizzou and not Kentucky, right? You see what I'm saying? You get it? We're not going back on the road to play, we're not going down to Gainesville. We're not at Knoxville. We're going to Mizzou. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you overlook Missouri at all. Tony will lock Kobe Brown down and we will win. The refs and Mizzou 77 there are 15 fans in the stadium. Spot them 3 points. They're garbage. Tony will make those chippy shots next game. Our free throw will be better as well. I hope the crowd doesn't affect them. I mean, you never know how loud 50 people can be. How many seconds did we have to shoot the ball? When the ball left his hands, there was about 6 seconds on the clock. But go back and watch. They could have drawn up anything else. They could have done something else. Go back and watch it, crazy. I don't know if you have DVR and if you DVR'd the game or try to find it on YouTube. Could have done anything else. Just didn't. And again, I don't mind that JD Notae was the guy taking the shot. That's the guy I want taking the shot, just not that shot. So it was invented when Arkansas was bad in football. Yeah, it was. It was when they were trying to get things turned around, for sure. I hate the battle line rivalry. I like that we got that trophy from them. I'll take that. I like that we got the trophy. Just because, we don't really take them serious. And don't get me wrong, You probably should, because they have beaten you more times in football, and maybe you should take it serious, but it's just funny that it feels like Mizzou really hates that they lost that trophy, So, I don't know. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's not because it's like, oh, wow, we beat Missouri. No, it's because, we got your trophy. Take that. But yeah, all right. So we'll talk about Missouri. It's going to be a big game. Again, I think every game from here on out is a big game. This one more about that's not a game you want to drop, right? And we do need to keep a good eye on Missouri and what they're capable of doing. I do think they're the kind of team that can surprise you for sure. Like I said, don't overlook anybody. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. That's a good way of putting it. So yeah, and you have Razorback baseball. Oh man, come around the corner. Baseball. It feels like it's just here, but February 18th, it's back. You start up against Illinois State. Of course, we'll start talking a little more baseball too during the week. So, yeah. Thanks, Ty. Have a great weekend. You too, Kate. All right, I'll see you guys on. I guess I'll see you on Monday. Yeah. Of course, tomorrow there's a big game. There's a big game tomorrow. I don't know if you guys know about it. Rams taking the Super Bowl, baby. Taking the Rams. Oh, you know what? That's something we didn't do. We didn't take predictions here. I said Rams by 90 in Discord, but I guess I got to give a serious score. I'm going to say Rams 29, Bengals 17. Yeah. I feel pretty good about it. We're getting it. We're getting that Super Bowl. We're winning this bad boy. So I'll be in a great mood on Monday. Woo pig, and I'll see you guys then.